All right, welcome back. Those of you that have watched my channel before, we can get back to my regular content now that I'm feeling better. Just colloidal silver, 2 days, feeling better from a cold. Check out my earlier video. Uh, a common thing with narcissists, they'll try to discredit you when you tell them they're wrong, when you have facts and data to back up what you're trying to say. Now, how can that be so? Well, in the mind of a narcissist, and a common narcissistic tactic is to them, or they try to present everything as subjective, meaning like, well, that's just your opinion. That's not necessarily true, or so and so said. But, the real world, certain things are just undeniable facts, while other things are subjective. But when you're, telling a narcissist that they're wrong, or even more so, when you're calling them out on their abuse, they'll make everything subjective. Like, oh, if you tell the narcissist, like, you ruined my wedding because you got drunk and made a fool out of yourself and, had to be the center of attention. Like, well, I wasn't really the center of attention. That's just your opinion. And this can continue to any form of abuse. Like, hey, when you used to beat me with a metal yardstick when I was a kid, well, that was back then. I don't remember that. It wasn't that bad. They use this tactic that everything is subjective and just your opinion, to excuse a lot of their behavior. And before I get deeper into this, what is subjective? Subjective facts are something that is a matter of opinion. That's why the poster behind me has a purpose. It is a subjective fact. It is subjective to say Ronald Reagan was a good president. That is a matter of opinion on your personal beliefs of his politics. However, it is an undeniable fact to say Ronald Reagan won the 1984 election, because that's something, whether you like it or not, it's a verifiable fact. You can look it up. Or to say, George H.W. Bush was Ronald Reagan's vice president. Again, undeniable fact. It's subjective to say he was like a Rothschild plant. There's a lot of conspiracies about that. But, these two men won president and vice president in 1984. That's not subjective. And narcissists, in their never-ending quest to get supply off of you and to keep you down as their victim, as their target, will try to use this tactic of making everything subjective in order to get you to doubt yourself, in order to get you to think that you're not allowed to be right, that you couldn't possibly be right, that you're remembering it wrong, that it wasn't really like that. Because that's, in effect, what they're trying to do. They're trying to usually flat out excuse their behavior by making the truth that you're saying sound subjective, or at least try to, downplay it to make people think, well, it didn't happen like that and it wasn't as bad. They're blowing it out of proportion, even when you're possibly giving apple core, a very accurate, recount of the event you're speaking of. Now, this is something that can be difficult to get across. You have to be very tactful when a narcissist tries to excuse undeniable fact as something that's subjective. And there's ways to do that. One, if there's any picture or video from the event, they can't say it didn't happen then. They'll try. My mother did. And I can do that. Here's video. Time stamped. You can do that. Other people that were there, witnesses that, can recount the same thing happening, that'll catch them off guard. It will be difficult when it's just your word against theirs. But even in that situation, if similar events had happened, like if you're talking about getting hit by a metal yardstick as a kid, and the narcissist did this more than once, and maybe the specific time that you're recounting, nobody else was there, but other times people were there, that helps you prove it too, because it shows a pattern of behavior instead of a one-off incident, to where even if people are like, well, I wasn't there for that, but that's certainly in character. Because narcissists love to try and rewrite history to, one, make themselves the star of any good moment in your life. Anything good that happened to you, it's because of them, and they're the star behind it. And anything that they did bad to you, you're blowing it way out of proportion. It didn't happen like that, and I don't remember that. That kind of stuff. Subjective. But remember this narcissistic tactic. Remember that there will be events in your life that they will try to downplay in terms of their abuse, that they will try to deny in terms of their abuse, or that they will try to take credit for, the good things. Remember the difference between subjective and objective or undeniable fact, and know that they will try to make everything they'll try to make everything subjective in order to best fit their narrative, where they're not only the star but the hero, and of course the one who never did anything wrong. So it's an important narcissistic tactic to be aware of. They try to make everything subjective. Know that. Know how to deal with it. I hope this helped. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification button. If you'd like to request a video be made by me for you on this channel, either public or private, the video with me in a white t-shirt that's on the homepage now will give you details in how to do that. If you want to support the channel because the channel has helped you, there are links to donate to the channel in the About section of the channel, as well as an email if you want to have a video done. And of course, there is the super thanks button. Remember to trust your intuition. If a narcissist is trying to rewrite history, remember what they're trying to rewrite probably isn't subjective. And remember, you have integrity. Therefore, you're doing the right thing by recounting accurately what happened with facts and data that they can't deny.